Coach, we heard a little bit of what you said to Chuck there on the radio broadcast. Just your thoughts on the game tonight and what Texas A&M did defensively that gave you guys so much fits
What they did offensively or defensively?
defensively.
I don't know that they gave us
Offensively, I'm sorry.
Offensively, they blocked us. You know, we didn't tackle well. Anytime that you go out there and get 182 yards rushing, that means you probably had a pretty good day. And the other thing is they did a really good job of pass protection. You know, they had 2 sacks coming in. Obviously, we didn't get to Kellen, but their offensive line, you know, we were zone dropping, we were man covered, we was bringing blitzes, we was trying to, you know, we weren't just standing back there going, okay, we give up. You know, we tried a lot of different things, and they seemed to pick up every blitz, and we brought some safety blitzes, some corner blitzes, and they seemed to do a nice job. And Kellen was on. I mean, his receivers are getting open. And so anytime you have a threat where you can turn around and hand the ball to Spiller and you've got a big physical O-line and then play action off of it and run some naked boots off of it, they're really talented, and they got us. You know, we didn't wrap up, missed quite a few tackles, and usually that means you got to get better at tackling, and they've got a good back that can run through tackles. I mean, and they did. They're a really good football team.
Tom.
Sam, some of the third and longs, can you say what happened on those conversions, and also trying to cover Jalen Weidermeyer tonight? How tough was he?
On most of the third and longs, it looked to me like we couldn't get any pressure on the quarterback, and they were running. Basically, they were running comebacks. They were running. They ran an angle post, short. The guy that hurt us was the tight end. You know, he's a guy that we couldn't seem to find. You know, but the bottom line is if we can't get pressure on the guy and he's sitting back there, guys are going to eventually get open, and that's what happened tonight. And they caught the ball well and blocked well, and basically did whatever they wanted to a lot of the times on third down.
Hey, Biddy.
Yeah, Coach, I was curious about the offensive line. It looked like you guys had mixed a lot of different players in there. Can you just comment on I guess what you were trying out there?
Well, we didn't have Ricky last week, and so he didn't practice a whole lot. So we started with Clary, and then we felt like Jones had a good enough week to get some reps, and so that was him coming in there and playing there, and then Ricky got in and played, even though he hadn't repped much, and so we're just trying to find a few more guys that we can certainly count on for the rest of the year at different spots, and honestly, you're still evaluating everybody, to be honest with you.
Bob.
Sam, you talked about the third downs, but you know Arkansas was leading the SEC in third down defense coming in around 30. And at one point, A&M was 7 of 8 tonight. I think mine hit 4 passes of 8+ yards. What was the difference on third down? Maybe from other games, was it just the Aggies were that good, or what do you think happened on those?
I don't know. I really can't explain it. I mean, they had open receivers, and he got it to them. They caught the ball. You know, we couldn't get pressure on him. I really don't know compared to the other 4 games. You know, I know one thing: they didn't shoot themselves in the foot. You know, they didn't have snaps that went over left and right and drop balls and all that kind of stuff. They didn't do that, and they had enough concepts to get open, and they played catch and did a nice job with it.
Sam, y'all finally got the run game going yourselves tonight. What do you think was the key to that?
Well, I think there's several reasons why. I think there's some of the plays that we ran. You know, we had a new play in there that that took advantage of their edge guys, and starting the game fast, I think would helped us. We couldn't have had a better first drive. That was very impressive. But I think our backs ran harder. I think we're just getting better. I've said we're going to get better, and our line was better. And Rakeem came in and got his first 100-yard rushing game this year. And I just, when you look at 91 yards, that comes from the quarterback, so that usually doesn't happen. But we designed some quarterback runs, knowing Felipe is a good physical runner. And so between a couple of new different looks that we had for rushing, and then with our quarterback runs, I think that helped our running game.
Nate?
Rakeem Boyd that's the Boyd you expected this year as far as being healthy and just effective.
Well, it seemed like he ran really hard, and did a nice job carrying, holding on to the ball, getting extra yards. So it was fun to see him have a game like that.
Nikki?
Coach, how did you feel like the replacements did once Jalen Catalon went out, and what was your reaction just when you saw that hit? It seemed, pretty clear right away what was going to happen.
Well, I think it was a good call. His head was down, and it wasn't what I would consider a spear. It wasn't like he was doing it maliciously or trying to lead with his head. It just happened. Didn't look dangerous, but when they called I understood why. They made a new rule this year that you don't, unless it's, I don't know the term for it, that you can stay on the sideline. And I just went up to him, talked to him, and said, "Hey, I'd love for you, let's stay on the sideline, help the football team out." He was devastated. Obviously he loves to play, worked hard to play, but that's the rule, and I understand the call.
Scotty?
Yeah, Coach, I'm just curious how much you feel like the defense kind of missed Jalen's presence after he was disqualified.
Well, they're missing him. He's one of the best players we have. So, and he's a leader back there. So I'm sure our defense missed him, but let's make no mistake now. We've had a lot of people out this year and played good defense, and had a lot of people out and played some good offense. So we missed him, no doubt about it, but we certainly can play better than what we did.
Let me know if you've got more in the chat. Trey Schapp?
Coach, what led to the call there to go for it on fourth down, the pass to Burks, that play specifically? And then also your thoughts on the crowd. There was a lot made up of the crowd here coming into this game.
Well, the crowd did a nice job. There were a lot of them. And but the fourth down play, we were down, I think 14 at the time. I can't remember. Late in the, I can't remember the situation. I know it was 4th and 6 or 4th and 5. And I told Kendall, freeze them, let's look at it. I always call timeout. And they were in cover 0. And we like our matchup with Burks, with Traylon Burks. And I don't know. We just said, okay, let's go. And it was throwing a catch and temporarily got us back in the game, but I wouldn't do that very often. It just happened to work out.
Sam, you wind up outgaining them in total offense. I'm wondering what you take from an encouragement standpoint from this game, establishing the run and getting things going a little bit more offensively.
Well, encouraging was just what you said. We rushed the ball better. We had 4 sacks, but Felipe, he holds that thing quite a little bit too, and at times he doesn't want to throw interception. I get it, So I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just he certainly could take less hits. We're rolling a little bit better offensively. Very proud of our first drive because until that time we hadn't had a first down in any of the 4 games, and we took the ball down and scored. So there was some good things come from today, but our goal is to win football games, and so we have to figure out how to be. I have to figure out how to be a better coach. Some things that we can do to help our players. And I was very happy with, obviously, the effort and all those things, but we're not here to give great effort. We're here to give great effort and coach them up well enough to win games, and that's what we need to do.
2 more. Okay, Biddy.
Hey, Coach, I noticed that Rakeem didn't play much in the second quarter until like I think a minute 25 or so left in the second quarter. Was that just by design, or was he banged up, getting treatment or something like that?
No, if he wasn't playing, that just mean we was playing Traylon.
Last one, Bob.
I don't think he was up at all, Trey, is what I'm saying. I think he's fine.
Sam, you guys really made a living off turnovers, and A&M didn't really give you help in that regard tonight. How big was that in the outcome, do you think?
It's momentum. Turnovers are only sometimes they're momentum 7 points. We needed a few of those. We'd really been living on those. We've been living on some goal line stands. We've been living on 4th and 1. We just didn't get them tonight. That's all. But we'll bounce back. We'll be fine. We'll bounce back. But we certainly are a better team when we get turnovers.
All right, that's going to wrap us up with Coach Pittman. Thanks, Coach.